Good morning, everybody. Good to see you all. Got 28 on. Love to see you. I'm gonna have a little what's Roblox? Good question, Dawid Islam. Let me get onto YouTube so I can see what you're writing on my phone. Lovely to see you all here. Ava, I hope you are mixing that with doing lots of work as well. Very important. Let's have a look. Brilliant. Right, I've got the chat here. Good morning, Subhan in 3P. Good to see you. Good morning, Maria. Oh, it's Amara. Amara, remember that's not how you spell my name. Have a look and see how you spell my name. It's not how you spell my name. I'm not Dorjan. I'm Jordan. I'll say hello, Amara. Who else have we got? Rainbow is here. Good morning. Morning, Ridwan. Rainbow, I keep forgetting. Who are you? Pop your name down for me. Morning, Sadia. Morning, Tahira. Morning, Ridwan. Morning, Harris. Good to see you all. Morning, Labib. Morning, Ahil. Morning, Alicina. Good morning, Anas. Jello, Ramin. Ahmed, good morning. Ramin, hello. Miss Cho, 3C. After Miss Jordan's lesson, please come straight onto Google Class for live call with Miss Cho, please. Ooh, we're going to be doing a little bit more of that. I know 3D's been doing some. I'll start doing some as well next week. Where you go onto Google Classrooms and you can see your teacher live, which is really, really good news. Good morning to Ayab. Good morning, Salah. Morning, Tamir. Morning, Anas. Good morning to Hira. Morning, Dawid Islam. Morning, Arifa. Morning, Anjuman. It's Naba, sorry. Good morning, Naba. Yeah, if you've got a different name on your YouTube profile, really helpful just to pop your name down occasionally so I know I'm saying the right one. Morning. Morning, Zabaril. Good to see you. Ramin is here. Who else have we got? Anissa. Morning, Anissa. Hey, Mikhail. Oh, it's not Mikhail Mohammed. Who's Mikhail Mohammed? I keep forgetting who that one is. Morning, Ramin. Morning, Ava. Morning, Alicina. Good morning, Sultan Sanjar. Good morning, Miss Cho. Good to see you. Good morning, Rita, Ramin. Live call. What's that? Good question. We'll talk about that a little bit in a minute. I'm actually going to go over today. I need to just make sure that the computer, yeah, it can work. I'm going to go over, just remind children what you need to do to access all the work. Okay, I've got these mixed messages coming from some families. Some families saying they're getting overloaded with work, having too much work. Some families saying there's not enough work. I think the ones saying there's not enough work just don't quite know how to find it. So we're going to go on the live stream now. You can help when it's time. I'll get your parents to have a look as well, so you can see exactly all the work that we do each day, because there's a lot of work to be doing. Who else? Tanvir, good morning. Samuel, come to the land of the lost and lonely. Don't be afraid. We go one big family. Is this a poem of some sort? Hi, Omar. Hi, Abdul. Morning, Noah. I use Noah's account. You sure do. Although technically, I think on YouTube, you've got to be 13 or something. So just be careful with that. Morning, Samuel. Oh, it's Aisha. You know, you have to keep reminding me of that, Rainbow. Aisha. Hello, Omar, Sadia. Who else have we got? Abdul Samad is here. Who else have we got? Yusuf Mia, you're on. Good to see you, Yusuf. Good morning. Mr. Jordan and Nisa, very good. Yeah, we're going to start in a second. We normally try and wait until we get a bit closer to 60, although our numbers are a little bit lower today. So not quite sure why that is. Probably me phoning up and ranting at kids last night. We'll wait until our numbers go up a little bit higher before we start. Morning, Zain. Morning, Issa. Good to see you. Please don't share accounts and passwords and details on this chat. If you want to talk to your friends about stuff like that, do it in Google Classroom, because that is a safe environment to talk about these things. Whereas on here, don't forget, YouTube is public. So please don't put any account names, don't put any passwords, don't put information like that. Certainly don't be sharing any addresses or anything like that. That's really important that we're just careful with that. That's just general internet safety etiquette. We need to be really careful to not give random information out. Yeah, Ms. Cho has reminded us to remember that you need to sign into Google Classrooms to register in the morning. You can do that after this video if you haven't done it already. I can already see there's 6 or 7 kids in 3J who've already signed up to that, which is really good. Yeah, to be honest, anyone who's saying it's not working, it only means you've entered some details wrong, because all of them now work. Hey, Ayana, good to see you. They all work now. So I'm just going to go over that and check how it's done. If you're on a tablet or a phone, it all works. Good morning, Miss Duncan, as well. Good to see you here in the chat. Ramin, can you try and not spam? Well, in fact, I'm not saying try and not. Please don't spam the chat with lots of emojis and things. One of the things that we're saying here is that we type something once. Yeah, good internet etiquette. Doesn't matter where you're chatting online. Only make your comment once. If you keep writing it over and over again, people will stop listening to you. It's a bit like in real life. If you keep saying the same thing over and over again, people will stop listening to you after a while. Right. Yeah, Google Classroom should work absolutely fine. Thank you, Naba. Tell you what, I know we're not quite up to 60, but I'll tell you a little bit about what we're going to do in today's lesson. So one thing we're going to do, as per usual, we're going to go over the news, talk about a little things that have been going on. I'm going to show a little bit of work. I just want to say now, I can't show every piece of work every day. We get inundated with work, okay? So I'm going to try and keep it down, the numbers, and maybe just show 5 pieces a day or something like that. So don't panic if your work's not being shown. It doesn't mean it wasn't good. It doesn't mean it wasn't, important. We love seeing it all. We look at it all, but I just don't have the time in the morning to print everything out, and we don't have the time on the video, to be honest, to go through every single piece of work. Also, I keep printing out in color at school, and that costs a lot of money. And so I'm being a little bit naughty because we're not meant to print too much out in color. What else did I need to say? Oh, yeah. So that was one thing. News, work. Next, we're going to obviously do our English. We've got so far in the story. I know my handwriting doesn't look fantastic, but we're going to look a little bit at the dialogue between the 2 characters now. Now, when we write this, one thing I know some children have been asking, is that all I need to do? 2 sentences? Well, no. I'm doing a really basic version because of the amount of time I've got. I'm really sorry about that sound that keeps going on in the background. I will turn it off eventually. I do a little basic one, but you're meant to be fleshing it out. So I did a sentence showing the adjectives and a sentence showing the personification. When you start to write it, build on that, make it bigger. Today we're going to do dialogue between our 2 characters. We've got Lucy and Bob, and we're going to look at how we can have a little bit of conversation between those 2. And we're going to add a little bit of onomatopoeia as well. In maths, we're going to carry on looking at fractions. We were looking yesterday at fractions of shapes. Today, we're going to look at fractions of amounts. Don't worry, it's really easy fractions. They look complicated, but they're not hard. We're also going to, one of our news stories. We've got a topic today, a big thing we're going to research. And I'm going to tell you about that at the end, after we've done the news. Okay? So first thing, let's have a look at the news, then we'll have a look at the work, and then I'm going to show you how you access all your work, and then we're going to get on with the lesson. So, news round. News in today. Some really sad news has come in today, which is really, really bad news for Britain. We have gone past the point where we have 100,000 people who have died in this country from coronavirus. That is a huge number of people. This is why I'm telling you this news, because it is so important that we make sure our families stick to lockdowns. We make sure that we're not going out unless it is absolutely necessary. We make sure that we are doing everything we can to try and stay safe. It's a really big number, 100,000. We also need to make sure that we are supporting, that we're not listening to fake news and rumors, and that we get those vaccines. The second that the hospitals or the surgeries ask us, that we get that sorted. I know that vaccines are being rolled out at a really fast rate. I've got a little video as well. We'll show it sometime to talk about what the vaccines are and just dispelling some of the rumors that have been going around on Facebook and social media. So that's really important. So 100,000, that's really sad. Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, came out and he apologized as the leader of the country for the number of deaths, saying that he was truly sorry that such a thing had happened. And obviously, we're putting lots of new things in place now to make sure we've got the vaccine, which is great. We're making it here in this country. We're now making sure that anyone who flies in from abroad from a hotspot is going to be put in a hotel for 2 weeks. So they have to quarantine themselves. So we don't have people coming in with the virus from other places around the world. So yeah, real big thing. Next, number 2 bit of news, and this is going to link to the research that we're doing today. It turns out a big global survey was given. That means a survey is when they ask lots of people around the world, what do you think is the most important crisis? What is the thing we need to tackle the most? Well, believe it or not, you would think people might say coronavirus or something like that. But the biggest issue, especially for young people around the world, is climate change. Climate change is considered to now be an absolute emergency. It is the number 1 priority, especially amongst young people, of what we need to really focus on as a country. So what we're going to do for our topic today, we're going to have a little look and try and understand what climate change is and how it's going to affect our world. Okay, that noise is buzzing away. So it means I'm going to move over to our first thing. And our first thing we're going to do, we're going to have a quick look at what you have to do to check that you are doing all of the relevant work. I'm going to go over nice and clearly so that you understand all the different things you need to access to make sure that you are doing the right work here at school. So one of the first things you're going to need to do is obviously to move onto the internet, and we're going to go to Google, and I'm going to type in Anglesey Primary School. Now, you know all of this, but I'm just going to repeat it for you. By the way, it's worth watching this post from the local councillor supporting our 24-hour teachathon. It's a good little video. And once we are on the website, we need to go to class pages. So I'm going to go to children. I'm going to go to class pages. Okay? And it's taking a little bit of time. Sometimes the website is a little bit slow. You can see I clicked that a while ago and it's taking quite a long time to load. This is probably because lots of children are accessing the work. So don't worry if it goes slow. All you need to do is just be patient. Right, I'm going to scroll. Oh, it doesn't work like that. I'm going to scroll down my page. And as you all know, we go to the Year 3 button. Okay? Now, there is a register on here, but remember, as Year 3, we're trying our best to register on Google Classroom. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So, as I scroll down, you will see that there are class codes in case anyone's not on, but I think everybody is. This is your timetable. So, for example, today is Wednesday. The first thing in the morning is getting up at 9 o'clock and doing the Joe Wicks PE video. It's being posted online. We've then got the live lesson that starts at 10 o'clock. You can have a little break after that. Then we've got literacy time and maths time before lunch. That's what we're advising to do. So that could be about an hour on each. Lunchtime, after lunch, we've got an afternoon with some reading, some spelling shed, and of course, Oxford Reading Buddy. And please, 3J, let's come on, win that Oxford Reading Buddy this week. Miss Choate's class, I know, didn't win, but we need to beat Mrs. Duncan's class, who's obviously now the best class in the year group. So these are the timetables. So let's keep going down. Let's look at the rest of it. So this is the link which I update every morning for the live lesson. So maybe you click on that, and maybe just go to YouTube. Down here then are all the different subjects. I know most of you know this, but just to double check that parents don't think that all you're doing is a live lesson and then stopping. No, no, no. You do the live lesson and then we've got all this extra work for you to do. So for example, let's go and have a little look at literacy. So if I click into literacy like this, what you're going to see is that the weeks have been archived. So you can go and check the work for each different week. So I'm going to go in now and I'm going to click into this week's work. Okay. Now, if I scroll all the way down to the bottom, you can see it starts at the bottom for this week. We've got some SPAG questions down here. Okay. An or a. We have got work starting you off with your writing. We've got, that's Monday, that's going up to Tuesday. We've got a video, I think. Where is the video? The video is down here, there it is. We've got a video by Mrs. C, a fantastic literacy resource that you need to do. Now you need to set a bit of time aside to do this. Sorry, the page says it's unresponsive. I'm just going to press wait. The videos will hopefully pop up on here. My internet's being a little bit slow. If they don't, you can just click on it at the top. So if the video doesn't show in here, you can click on it and go to the YouTube page. The Mrs. C lessons, you'll need a piece of paper to do the work. Anyone who's saying that they can't do that homework, you absolutely can. Anyone who's on here can use YouTube, and Mrs. C's lessons are on YouTube. So you need a piece of paper. you're going to set it out just as Mrs. C shows. In fact, here it's being shown exactly how to set out the page. We've got our thinking side, we've got our writing side. Okay, you could have 2 pieces of paper, couldn't you, to do this? That's absolutely fine. So all the thinking words that Mrs. C says comes up here, and then your independent writing will go on this side. You need to watch those videos to understand how those lessons go, but that's easily a good hour or so of work just for literacy alone. Okay, the same thing then happens here as Wednesday's lesson. Same thing, video is in, and you can see the video is popped up. Lesson 3, there you go. Same thing, of course, for maths. I'm just going to go back, just so you know, there is also work for, I'm going to press back again. There is maths topic, there's music work, there's reading work, there is spelling shed access, there is, of course, PSHE work that we're doing. There is so much stuff on there, okay? Right, I'm going to leave this for a second. I'm going to unplug that. It's making that really annoying noise. And bring us back over here. I am really sorry because I know some children are feeling that there is too much work. Well, look, just do your day's work. Yeah, spend 4 or 5 hours and then you can stop, okay? You don't need to be panicking and staying up late into the night, okay? If you're finding something really hard, go and have a look on Year 2's maths, right? If you're finding Year 3 maths tricky, don't be embarrassed to look at what Year 2's doing as well, okay? Just use the same method that we just showed on there to go and find out what Year 2 is doing as well. There's some absolutely fantastic resources. In fact, I have a member here from Year 2 to talk about the amazing resources that they've been putting on as well, sir. So you've been putting all sorts of fantastic stuff on, haven't you?
Spooky story.
Spooky story.
I'm about to write a story.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's not spooky.
Oh.
It's going to be more of a kind of fairy tale on the live stream after this.
Brilliant.
What were you talking about?
I was saying that some children, if they're finding anything hard, there are loads of resources as well on Year 2. In fact, you do a live stream right after this live stream, don't you?
Yeah, 11 o'clock today. It'll be going live. Yes, there are lots of resources on Year 2. Some of them you would be able to do in Year 3. You could access them. There's lots of maths, lots of writing. I do daily videos that you could watch. Year 4 have lots of things on their website as well.
Yep.
So if you want to give yourself a bit of a challenge, there's nothing wrong with going into the other year groups and finding work that might challenge you.
Yeah. We mean that, okay? If you're finding it too easy, try something harder. If you're finding it too hard, try something easier, okay? Don't be stressing, okay? But please do the work. I want you then, you all know your Google Classroom login. So on your parents' phones, they can download the Google Classroom app. I've got it on here, and you can see it always pops up. I can see Ayana has been on already this morning. She's commented, Ayana is here this morning. She answered the question. It pops straight up onto my phone. I can see it. I can say, well done. I'm going to type back now. Well done. Like that. And it's gone. Okay? You can send your work on here. Just take a picture with your parents' phone. Upload it. Fantastic. Everything's nice and easy. We can see. Okay? So, what are we doing next? We are going to focus on this. Yeah, it's really important that you stop spamming. I'm going to go into literacy first. Okay. Yesterday, we were building the spooky story. We got loads of adjectives that were spooky. Things like smoky, misty, murky, dingy, creepy. And we had personification. Okay. The tree tapped me. The grass was biting at my heels. The wind ran behind me. And I came up with some sentences. It was a dark, creepy night when Lucy and Bob went for a stroll. While walking, I use my fronted adverbial, the sinister trees tapped them on the shoulder. Okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to split this into 2 sides. So it's a bit like a Mrs. C lesson. And we're going to have 2 things here. One thing we're going to have is onomatopoeia. I think I spelled it right. I'm really sorry if I spelled it wrong. I always get the spelling of onomatopoeia wrong. Onomatopoeia. Can you say it? Onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia. Yeah, it is a great word, and it is also a great thing to use. These are words that sound like what they are. What are you talking about, Mr. Jordan? Well, for example, the bee buzzed. The word buzz sounds like an actual buzz, doesn't it? Buzz. It sounds like the buzz. Or what about this? Smack. Smack. Smack sounds like a smack, doesn't it? Smack. Okay? What I'd like you to think of, and I'm going to fill my onomatopoeia side, think about them walking through the woods, okay? The spooky, dark, creepy woods. What kind of words, onomatopoeic words, what kind of onomatopoeia words could we have that describe, well, the things we would hear walking around the wood? I'm just going to go and close the door quickly whilst you come up with some onomatopoeic words. I'm just going to quickly close the door. 1 second. Okay, let's have a look at some of the words we have got. I'm going to read it. Oh, now stomp. I like that. Stomping through the woods. It's definitely something that they might do. I'm going to pop that down there. Maybe we can think of some that might add a bit of tension and be a bit, oh, a bang. Suddenly, a bang. That sounds onomatopoeic. Really good. What else have we got? Smash. Crash. Yeah? Smash. Crash. What other words might we have? Buzz, a crack. Yeah, nice one, Attic. I could think of, if I'm stepping on maybe a twig or something, I would hear that crack noise. Oh, I love these words. A gnashing sound. That is so good. Bashing, a boom. Yeah, I'm going to put a gnash. I think a gnash has a G in front of it. A boom noise. Very good. Ah, these are so good. Yeah, a snap. I like that one. Snap. Sounds like something snap. These are great onomatopoeic words. This is absolutely fantastic. Right, you can stop with those onomatopoeic. Look at my glasses, they keep sliding down. I need to tighten them up. Yeah, we can stop with these onomatopoeic words now because these are absolutely fantastic. Right, I'm going to use these onomatopoeic words to start my next sentence, okay? Because I want to build that sense that something creepy is happening in the wood, right? I've already got them walking and sinister tree, tapping them on the shoulder. So I'm going to use some onomatopoeia now. I'm going to start my sentence with these sounds, okay? Oh, I'm going to take crash, snap, bang. The sounds filled the forest. Okay? Look how I didn't just go, they heard a crash, snap, and bang. Then they heard a, no. I started straight away because I want to surprise the reader. We're reading along like this. Let me read this whole thing as it would go. So, it was a dark, creepy night when Lucy and Bob went for a stroll. While walking, the sinister trees tapped them on the shoulder. Crash, snap, bang! The sounds filled the forest. Ooh, I like that. It's sudden, it's impact. It works really well in a spooky story. Thank you so much for that onomatopoeia. Okay, I don't want you to write a sentence yet for me. I'm going to do this next part. Now, this next part is going to be dialogue. So, what I want to know, what are they going to say to each other next? Okay, they've walked through, a tree taps them, snap, crash, bang. They hear these noises. What are they going to say to each other? Okay, I would like to see in the chat, I would like you to come up with a little bit of dialogue. What does Lucy say and what does Bob say? So I want to hear what one says to the other one. Don't worry if you're late, you're absolutely fine. What do they say to each other now? So for those of you who have just turned up a little bit late, we've said that they've been walking through the woods. The trees tap them, crash, snap, bang. They hear these noises. And what I want you to do, what I want you to write is the dialogue between Lucy and Bob. What do they say to each other? Okay, I'm going to have a little read in the chat and I want you to know, what did they say to each other? Okay, what did they say to each other? Let's have a little look at some ideas. What's that? Shaman Mir says, is that Yusuf? Yeah. What's that? I like that. That is so good. I love it's gone WW like to get that sort of very nice. This is too scary. Bob said, let's get out of here. Oh, this is great. Lucy screams. Ah! Bob says, oh. Oh, this is good. What was that? I love this question thing. I think the question thing is good, but don't forget, if you write a question, it needs a question mark. You can find the question mark by, it's next to the right shift key. Press shift at the same time and you'll put that question mark in. Ah, help! Ah, this is scary. Bob says, what was that for? Don't think he would say hello, Mohammed. Who's that? Lucy, help us. Bob, I'm scared. Okay, these are some lovely things. Shall I write a few of these bits of dialogue? We've got the question, haven't we? What was that? We've got I'm scared. That's going to have a question mark. That's going to have an exclamation mark. Yeah, we could have help. Oh, I just need to remember what Yusuf wrote. He went, what was that? And I like how we've got that kind of stutter. What was that? The sinister tree stumped a crease. Bob said, I'm scared. Lucy said, run, it's after you. Oh, I like that, Samara. Run! Exclamation mark. It's after you. Oh, these are nice. Ah! What is that noise? Yeah, these are really good. Okay, so tell you what, I'm going to try putting this into some dialogue, and I'm going to use the skills that we taught, not last week, but the week before, using those speech marks, which I haven't actually seen any of in the chat, okay? So I'm going to show you how I would write it using the speech mark. Now, a new person speaking, so I must go to a new line, didn't I? New line for new speaker. So let's have a look. New line. I'm going to use that one that you said. What was that? So speech marks open because it's the start of someone talking. What was that? Question marks. Speech marks close because the speech is over. Now, who said that? What was that? Said Bob. Said Bob. Is that the best thing I could say? What was mumbled? What was that? Stuttered. Oh, I like the word stuttered. What was that? Stuttered Bob. Stuttered Bob. What was that? Stuttered Bob. What did Lucy reply? Oh, now wait, a new speaker, so a new line. Remember that? New speaker, new line. Say it. New speaker, new line. Okay, so Lucy's going to reply. Lucy replies. Now, that doesn't have speech mark because she doesn't say Lucy replies. What does she say? She says, I'm scared. Brilliant. I'm scared. Close my speech marks, put my full stop in. I'm scared. That's going to have an exclamation mark because she says it. I'm scared. I'm going to put an exclamation mark in there. Right. I have put speech marks around the things that I have said. I've gone to a new line for a new speaker. Now it's your job to show me that you can do it. Remember, the speech marks are on the 2 button, so you press Shift and 2. If you're on a tablet, you just need to press the Shift button, and it should pop up as well. I would like to see you. You can copy exactly what I said if you want, or you can come up with 2 lines of dialogue yourself. So I want to know, what did Lucy say? And what did Bob say? And I want to see the speech marks around the words being spoken. Okay? So speech marks around the words being spoken. New line, new speaker. Let me have a look and I'm going to read. I want you to show me you can do it. And I'm going to have a little read. Yeah, there's a lot of people saying hi to people and chatting random things. Lowy, why are you talking about CD, DVD? Issa, yeah, focus on what I've asked you to do. Good to see you, Alicia, but can we focus on what we're doing? So what we're going to do now, a bit of dialogue. Bob is, now this is good. Anas has got the first thing. He's put the speech marks perfectly around it. Okay, can we have both Bob and Lucy, what they say? That's good, isn't it? I'm scared. Speech marks, perfectly written. Well done. Ayab, Bob said, what's that? Said Bob. Now what Ayab's done there, he's put Bob said at the start and at the end. We only need one. So you can either start with Bob said or you can end with said Bob. Ramin, come on, where's my sentence, please? Musa Khalil, where's my sentence? Naba? Now, Alicia, that's good, but where are my speech marks? Remember, we need speech marks around the words being spoken, please. Don't worry if you take a bit of time. I'm going to wait here for a second so I can see some more coming in. Niji needs, who is that? You need to make sure that you are doing the work, please, not just saying hello to people. Charmin, Chowdhury, Lucy. Now, you've used it like a play script there, Samin, and it's not meant to be a play script there. Now, Jamila, that's really good, but where are my speech marks? Yeah, pop the speech marks in. Speech marks, guys, where are they? Let's have a look at them. Good boy, Zainab. Let's get focused. Oh, good girl, sorry. I'm going to wait and see if we can get these speech marks in. I want to see these sentences using these speech marks. Where do we go? Don't worry, it takes a bit of time to write. You don't feel rushed. Okay, Zubairul has said, "What was that?" cried Bob. Lucy stuttered. It's got to run. Right, now what's the problem with Zubairul? I'm going to just focus on that because that was really good. But remember, the speech marks only go around the speech. So I would have a speech mark for what was that, and then I would have another, I would close my speech mark because you only put speech marks around the words that are being spoken. So can you see here? Bob didn't say stuttered Bob, so I don't put speech marks around it. Open speech marks. What was that? Close speech marks. Stuttered Bob. Lucy replies, open speech marks. I'm scared. Close speech marks. They only surround spoken words. Let's have a look at some more here. What do we got? I'm scared, said Bob. Anwar, brilliant. You've got the speech marks exactly around the words. Well done. I'm scared. Isa Ahmed, very good. Perfectly done. Yes, that is good. Shaman Mir, if that's Yusuf, that's very good. Ayab, yeah, well done. What else have we got? Help, Yusuf Rahman said, very good. What was that? Bob said, how am I meant to know? Now, just check on Rainbow that you need to put the speech marks just around the words being spoken. Bob and Lucy looked at each other and said, run. Well done, Impact Fitness. That's very good. Bob said, what was that? Ah, said Lucy. Ayab, that's perfect. Omar, make sure that the speech marks go around just the words being spoken there. Did anyone hear that? Bob said. Lucy screamed, I'm not daft. Of course I did. Harris, that is fantastic. I really like that. Abdi Samad, help, Lucy said. Bob. Now, help, that's what they say. So the speech marks go at the start of help and then close at the end of help. Help Lucy. Is it help Lucy? So they start at help and they end at Lucy, said Bob. Lucy replied, and then your speech marks open again. I'm scared. Speech marks close. Remember, speech marks go just around the words that are coming out of the people's mouth. Okay, these are really, really good, and you're getting a lot better. The more and more you practice it, don't sit there panicking, thinking, I don't know what to do, okay? If you can't read the examples on here, just have a go. We've got Miss Cho in the chat. We've got Miss Duncan in the chat. They're going to support you. Also, if you remember, I've done a whole video all about dialogue. I don't know why I'm pointing at my head there. I've done a whole video all about dialogue, okay? It's on the YouTube, Anglesey Primary School. Yeah, my wife pops up into it. It's a fun one. It's in my house, on a fridge. Watch it. It shows you all the skills that you need, okay? You can pause it, rewind it, copy it, write it down, copy it, do it again, okay? That's how you get good at it. Whilst you're at home, you have to go through these things that might be a little bit boring, but practice, practice, practice. Okay, I'm going to move on now, and we're going to move to maths. Whilst I'm rubbing off the board and getting everything clean, I would like you to remind me, what is a fraction? That's your question. What's a fraction? And I'm going to pop all of this off. What is a fraction? Hurt my back this morning sneezing. That is a sign that I'm getting old. What is a fraction? Ooh. What is a fraction? What is a fraction? What is a fraction? That's the question. What is a fraction? Right, let me do this. And I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, what is a fraction? It is a part of a whole. Yes, fractions are equal parts of a whole. So I have a whole thing, and I divide it into equal parts. So, for example, this is my lungs. I have to have 2 lungs. This is half of my lung. This is another half of my lungs. Together, they make all of my lung. Let's say I have 5 little sweeties. Here are my 5 sweeties in my hand. If I take 1 sweetie, I have 1 out of 5, 1/5. each of those are an equal size, okay? So a fraction, don't worry, I'm going to show you on the board. This is a better way for me to do it rather than me trying to riff. Let's have a look at what I've planned. Right, up here, I'm going to model some. You're going to have a go. Here, I have shaded this part. So what fraction of this have I got? Well, I know that I've got one piece, and it's out of, how many pieces could I have had? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1 out of 4. So that is 1/4 as a fraction, or we call that a quarter. 1 out of 4. Let's have a look over here at this. Well, how many pieces have I got? I've got 3. How many pieces could I have had? 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 3 out of 4 possible pieces. So this is 1/4. This is 3/4, or 1/4 and 3/4. Okay? Pretty straightforward, right? At this point, that should be quite obvious. The 1 at the top is known as the numerator. Nice numerator up in heaven, up at the top. The 1 below is the denominator. The demon denominator who lives down below, okay? Denominator, numerator. Numerator shows me what I've got. Demon denominator shows you how many I could have. Right, let's have a look at these. I'm going to draw some people. I'm going to have some girls as well. I'm being a bit sexist by saying that girls only have long hair. And I'm also going to give this girl some big ears on you, and you can have some glasses. Okay, it's question time. Right, these are the children in my class, okay? And I'm going to ask you for some fractions. Right, what fraction of my class are girls? That's my first question. What fraction of my class are girls? So, how am I going to answer this? Well, I know what my denominator is going to be, don't I? Because I've got 6 children. So my denominator, if I'm saying what fraction are girls, well, my denominator is going to be 6. Now, my numerator is how many of them are girls. So how many of them? Oh, A of you, it's a good one. How many of them are girls? Well, we've got 1, 2, 3 girls in the class. Okay? I know I'm being a little bit, I'm going to put this sign up here so you know that's a boy, that's a girl, that's a girl, that's a boy, and that's a girl. Okay? Right, so it is 3 out of 6. Ayub has said half. Well, actually, 3 out of 6 is the same as half. So the answer should be 3/6. Or you could have put a half if you wanted, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, next question then. What fraction of my class wear glasses? What fraction of my class wear glasses? So you know the denominator, you know that straight away. So what is the numerator? What fraction of my class wear glasses? Let's have a little look. What have we got coming up in the chat? Very good. People are starting to pour in with this. Yeah, look. How many are wearing glasses? Oh, only 1. So glasses, 1 out of 6, or 1/6 of the class wear glasses. Very good. Right. What fraction of my class, next question, what fraction of my class has, what fraction of my class are sad? What fraction of my class are sad? They don't like being in school, do they? What fraction of my classroom are sad? Next question for you. What fraction are sad? Sad. What fraction are sad? Got a really sad face on them. What fraction? Very good. Yes. Well done, Sultan. Well done, guys. You're absolutely smashing this. Yeah. 2 out of 6 in the class are sad. Very good. Okay. Now I'm going to ask a slightly different question. If I have, for example, 4/6 of my class, how many children would that be? Well, 4 out of 6 children would be 4 children, wouldn't it? That's quite obvious. How many children would be 4/6 of my class? Well, that would be 4 children. Easy, right? Well, I'm going to make this a little bit harder. Okay, let me rub this out. So I'm still sticking with my class. What would 1/3 of my class be? How many children would make 1/3 of my class is my question. Well, this is how I'm going to do it. Remember, when we have a fraction, we have divided it into equal amounts. So if I said how many children is 1/6, well, I'm dividing the number of children in my class by 6. So I've got 6 children, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. So 1/6 of my class is 1 child. Now, how many people in my class would 1/3 of my class be? Well, what I'm going to have to do is divide my class into 3 equal groups. In the last one, I had them in 6 equal groups. But now we're going on a trip and we need to walk in pairs. So I'm dividing it into thirds. So what I'm going to do, I've got 6 children. I'm going to divide by 3. 3 times what is 6? Well, 6 divided by 3 is 2. So 1/3 of my class would be 2 children. Let's have a look at what I mean by that. I'm going to split these into 3 equal groups. There is 1, 2, 3. Now I'm upping the level of the maths here, okay? So we're going into something a little bit trickier. So bear with me. If you're confused, don't panic, okay? We'll get there eventually. So 1/3 of my class is actually 2 children because I've said, right, I've got 6 children. I'm going to divide them into 3 equal groups. So 1/3 would be 2. Question then. How many children, and maybe you can have a go at this, would be 2/3 of my class? I've got 6 children, but only 2/3 have turned up. How many children have turned up if we've got 2/3? What do you think? How many children have turned up if we've got 2/3 of the class? Ayab, can you write once? How many children will turn up if you've got 2/3 of the class? It'll help you to remember what 1/3 is. We said that 1/3 of my class equals 2. So 2/3 of Beryl, just post once, please. So 2/3 of my class would be 1, 2, would be 4. Okay? Because look, this is 1/3, which equals 2. This is 1/3, which equals 2. That is 1/3, it equals 2. So if I've got 2/3, that and that, I've got 4 children altogether. So 2/3 of this class is 4. Okay, we're going to do this again. Don't worry. And now I'm going to move on to our last topic. Right, let's have a look at this. Let's say I have got 1, 2, 3, 4 beads. And my question is, what is 1/2 of my 4 beads? What I do, I'm dividing it into 2 equal groups. So I think to myself, what is 4 divided by 2? It equals 2. So 1/2 equals 2. Let's keep looking at this. What if I've now got 8 beads, okay? And I want to know what is 1/4 of 8 beads. What is 1/4 of 8 beads? Well, what I need to do, I need to take the 8 beads and divide them by 4. So to find 1/4, I'm going to go 8 divided by 4 equals. So what is 1/4 of 8? Well, 8 divided by 4, how many 4s in 8? Equals 2. So let's just check if I divide that into 4 equal groups. Yes, there are 2 in each. So 1/4 of 8 would equal 2. I can see a lot of people are putting 4, but that's not right. 1/4 of 8 equals 2. Okay, right. One more that I'm going to do, and then I'm going to see if you can have a go at one. This one here, I'm going to have 10, and I want to see what is 1/5 of 10. What is 1/5 of 10? What am I going to do? Well, to find 1/5, I need to divide 10 by 5. So what is 10 divided by 5? How many 5s in 10? 2. So to find a fifth of 10, I'm going to do 10 divided by 5 equals 2. So a fifth of 10 equals 2. Okay? Right. Let's see how we feel with that. I'm going to put some questions on the board for you. Like normal, I'm going to go A, B, C. So you're going to say A equals, B equals, C equals, and you're going to have a go at these so I can see how we're getting on with this idea. So we've got A, B, and C. I'm going to have a third of something, a quarter of something, and a fifth of something. So first thing, I want to know what a third of 9 is. I want to know what a quarter of 12 is. And I want to know what a fifth of 25 is. Could you have a go at A, B, and C? And can you write A equals, B equals, C equals? So I can have a little look in the chat at how you're getting on with that. And then I need to move on to our final thing, which is our topic. So what does A equal, B equal, and C equal? A B, a C. What do they equal? Have a little try. So remember, I'm going to divide the number by the denominator. So I'm going to think, how many 3s in 9? I'm going to divide 9 divided by 3. What is 9 divided by 3? That would help for the first one. What have we got here? Some people are a little bit confused. Do not worry. I can see some people getting it. If you're still really, oh, lots of answers coming in now. This is really good. Yeah, well done. Nice. Lots of people getting it. Yeah. Right, let's have a little look then at this and let's try and work it out together. So a third of 9. I'm thinking, right, 9 divided by 3 to find my third of 9. 9 divided by 3 equals 3. So a third of 9, a third of 9 equals 3. A third of 9 equals 3. And I'm going to have a look at what does that look like. Well, look, let me draw 9 beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to split them into thirds. There's 1 third, there's 1 third, there's 1 third. Can you see they're divided into 3 equal pieces now? So 1 third of 9 would be 3, because I've done 9 divided by 3. So what is a quarter of 12? Well, I'm going to go 12 divided by 4. How many 4s in 12? Ah, that's also 3, because 3 times 4 equals 12. A fifth of 25, I'm going to go 25 divided by 5. 25 divided by 5. What does 25 divided by 5 equal? 5. Okay? And I can check that that answer is right because I can draw myself 25 beads. Here I'm going to have 25 different beads. My goodness, it's going to be a lot of beads, isn't it? Almost done. Right, here's my 25 beads. And if I split these into 5 equal groups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can see that 1/5 of that is 5. 1/5 of 25 is 5. 2/5 of 25 must equal 10, because look, 2/5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2/5 of 5, oh my goodness, look at the time, is 10. Right, I'm going to pause with this, don't worry. It's our introduction lesson, okay? We're starting to go over this. We're starting to try and make sense of it. Don't worry if you are confused, because we're going to be doing this more and more and more, and we're going to build up so that you know. If you are confused, as some people, I want you to go and check onto YouTube. In fact, I'll find it for you now. And I have done some fraction lessons, maths fractions of shape, fractions of amount. I'm going to start by publishing for you on here the fraction of shape video. Let me find it. And tomorrow, let me turn this off. So here we go. I'm going to post it now and pin it to the top. Posted and pinned. Right, up at the top, I've pinned. Oh, there we go. So you can see up here, I've now pinned a video for you. This is fractions of shape. Tomorrow, I'll give you a fractions of amount video. Have a look at that if you're struggling with what a fraction is. It's not the end just yet, because I've got a topic for you to research for me. I was going to teach you about it today, but you know what? I'll teach you about it tomorrow, because we've gone over time a little bit. So the thing I want you to research, your topic for me to research, is two things, actually. It's two things. It is, what is climate change? So I would like some, nice information fact on this. What is climate change? What is climate change? That's the first question. And number two question is, what is the greenhouse effect? Greenhouse effect. Okay, and then I will talk about it and go over it in detail tomorrow. So your two questions are, what is climate change and what is the greenhouse effect? What is climate change and what is the greenhouse effect? I want you to go out and do your research. I want you to find out all about what climate change is and what the greenhouse effect is. I'd love some pictures. I want to know about it. I'm especially interested in the greenhouse effect. What on earth could a greenhouse effect be? I'd like you to find and explain it to me. Rainbow, if you want to speak to someone, you're talking about a teacher. If you want to speak to any teachers, just to remind all of you, then go on to Google Classroom, where you can talk directly to us. If you've got a question, pop it into Google Classroom. All your logins, you should know. If you don't know, you need to email. Get onto Google Classroom to ask us a question. Remember, I showed you at the start of this video all the different bits of work you need to be doing. There is loads, okay? Don't overstress yourself. We have just had some messages from some children who are saying they're not getting enough sleep, they're panicking because there's too much work. Only do a normal day's work. You shouldn't be working more than you would normally do, okay? Please do not stress yourself. As Mr. Keeling said, there are resources on year 2 which are good if you're getting stuck. There are also resources on year 4 which are good if you're finding things too easy. Use all of the resources that the school is making. Teachers are putting work on every single day for every single subject. There is so much work on the school website that you can be finding if you go hunting for it. Make sure you go and register on Google Classroom now. Yeah, take pictures of your work and post them onto Google Classroom. That would be great. Is there anything else I need to say? If you've got any questions, can you ask them now, and I'll hang around for a second. I'm Ikra. Is year 4 doing live lesson today? Hey, Ikra. Let's have a look. If Mr. Moore is doing a live lesson, I can check for you very quickly. Manage. Yes, Wednesday. Yep, Mr. Moore is doing a live lesson. So year 4 people, at 11 o'clock, it says on here, Mr. Moore is doing a live lesson for year 4. So if you want to go and watch Mr. Moore's lesson, that's absolutely fine. Or if you want to go and watch Mr. Keeling's lesson as well, that's absolutely fine. I know Mr. Keeling's going to be doing some writing stuff. Mr. Moore is going to be doing some fantastic resources. Mr. Moore is also posting videos every day. There's videos between me and Mr. Moore, little challenges. He's been teaching me things. Go and check it all out on YouTube. If you look at the year 4 page, you can see those videos. I'm in them as well. Mr. Moore is doing them. They're absolutely fantastic. I need to go back to class now, so I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Thank you so much for turning up. Can't wait to see all of you on here tomorrow again. Can't wait to hear your questions on Google Classrooms. Go and register. Bye-bye. I'm going to have to do that again now, aren't I? I didn't press the end stream thing. Bye-bye.